Well, continue. Oh, that's fun. Did all my settings change? This sucks.
Well, wait, hold on just 1 second. I'm just trying to double check on my Twitch whether I can hear myself. Okay, I can hear myself on the Twitch. Yeah, that person's got their audio back. I think we're okay. It was just a
Okay.
blip.
Okay, cool.
Technical difficulties are par for the course when it involves our stream.
This is what happens when I change my setup. Just move the mic, and all of a sudden you can hear sirens in the background, and like the world's on fire.
I mean, depending on how tonight goes for our adventurers, the world may soon be on fire.
Well, it is Adventures in Agni.
I mean, it would
Yes.
be appropriate and par for the course. But in all seriousness, we're going to get into things real quick. But give a quick shout out to Roll20, Tabletop Loot, So Nerdware, and Devon Roof for sponsoring us and supporting the channel and keeping us going. Had the pleasure of getting to have a game with Maddie from over in So Nerdware folks, and it's great. I love those. He's a delightful person, and want to give shout outs to the folks who've been supporting our Patreon. And if for anyone who's interested in helping give a little boost to the players, or on the rare occasion in which you would like to indulge in making the world a little more difficult for our players, you can sub and give advantages to the DM and see what happens with that. But but really, helping us on Patreon helps keep the bulk of the operations going. Subs and bits will give awesome emotes as well as little benefits to the players. And as always, if you are interested in becoming a part of this larger Welcome to the Party community, feel free to check out our Discord. We're pretty enjoyable folks. I believe the common parlance is yeet joy as part of being in this community. And before we get back into our little recap of our previous episode, because it's been a few weeks since we've gotten everyone here, going to introduce our players, starting with our fantastic producer, Mariam.
Hello, everybody. I am Mariam, and I will be playing Dee, the one half of the sibling pair and I'm also a hobgoblin lore wizard.
And taking things over to our delightful aunt, who brings us so much joy and brings the DM to tears of frustration and laughter every session.
Hello, I'm Ant. Sorry, my my cam isn't working today. I will be playing Paya, who is Hobgoblin Bardlock.
Fantastic. Next up, the tank, the heart of the party, the strength that is undefeatable and just manages to just get through every situation where I really just can't do that much to a character. Lily.
Hi, I'm Lily, and I play Bo, who is a wild hunt sifter, barbarian / new druid.
New druid. And last but certainly not least, our delightful Gemma.
Hello, I'm Gemma. I will be playing Lapu, the party's Furbolg monk. Is that the right way to pronounce it, by the way? Because I'm listening to Adventure Zone, and they're Furbolg, and I'm like,
it's Furbolg. It's Furbolg.
It's however you choose to pronounce it.
It's however you need to.
Tomato.
It's Furbolg. Furbolg is how I've always heard it being said. I've never heard someone say Furbolg. It just makes me think of Torbjorn pronouncing it. But anyways.
Yeah, it sounds more very Scandinavian.
Suddenly a Scandinavian version of Gemma just shows up all of a sudden.
Hello.
Hello.
But so we're going to get back into our little recap of what the situation our party find themselves in, especially with this map in this cave situation with what might appear to be a snake-haired individual. So our party, having taken the time and escaped at the start of last session a very intense chase away from I believe it was Manticore and a chimera chasing you through the deft use of just, I believe, distracting it and also the newly acquired druidic powers of Bo casting fog cloud to essentially deter their line of sight. The group managed to escape and make it to the plains of Rudra, essentially a location where much of the terrain is the Calmlands from Final Fantasy X for anyone who wants a short video game reference to know what to visually imagine. But it's wide, sprawling, hilly kinds of plains and grassland. You see occasional creatures that have been dotting the whole landscape. And there's this intense wind that every now and then just bursts through the area and carries with it, depending on the day, sounds of almost like calm and serenity. And other days, almost the sound of duress and almost like a scream. So that's just a feature of the plains that just happens. But the party took some time to get to know some of the locals who had helped with saving them from this situation. Coming to know Tatiana, the centaur ranger slash nature cleric of Melora, Corbin, the orc ranger, who was among a few other individuals who shared a bountiful amount of delicious food that was being prepared and described in much detail for the party. But the party also discovering that there had been signs of likely cultist activity and potential appearances of the figures that they had previously encountered in the northern terrain of Chantico, spotted somewhere near the Druidic Mountains, as well as having received some information that one or two individuals from the ranger party, especially younger ones, those of elven descent, had been captured. And while this news would have been distressing enough, it seems to oddly timed and brings to mind curious thoughts when the party is also encountered in a previous evening near a very loquacious rock mound a rather large and foul gnoll-like creature whose facial features seem oddly elven and humanoid in appearance. But the party, deciding to speak with a local by the name of Camilla, who is said to have more information about what's been going on about the mounds and this situation developing with the cultists, the party decided to go down the tunnel that existed beneath the Magic Mouth Mound, discovering not only small deposits of fungal growths along the walls of the tunnel, but also finding statues of various individuals made of stone whose expression seemed to indicate some level of surprise in certain moments. Didi, sending in Kawa to investigate, took notice of a feminine figure whose hair seemed to be of living snakes, eyes covered in a cloth so as to prohibit any sort of line of sight. And the last thing the party, or really just Didi at this point, would have heard before our session ended was, "Who goes there?" And that is where we pick up. Didi, you've heard this statement through the senses of Kawa, and once again the figure just moves closer, and you see this. It looks almost like a set of vestments being worn, but they're a mixture of almost dark elf kind of style cloth with the patterns and indentations on it, and sort of naturalistic just bits of growth and flower dotting it, and vines and lines all across these vestments, and almost like nightgown and dress appearance, but with little dots of stars and almost like this faint glow of moonlight all around the form. And the figure just calls out again, "Who disturbs my home?"
I just realized I don't think I can actually talk. Like, I can communicate to my familiar, I can pass spells through my familiar, but I can't actually speak through my familiar.
I believe that one is only a warlock pact invocation feature.
Yes. So, I. Let Let me see if I can cast some sort of a spell that will allow communication through it. If only I had minor illusion, I could maybe sort of like Pictionary communicate. Yeah, I don't think I have anything in particular that allows me to communicate to, so I guess I will have Kawa just sort of cock its head and sort of nod. Oh, right. I didn't know whether Baya was next to me or not.
Well, we'll make the assumption that all four of you, unless you have stated otherwise, none of you has gone too forward in. That I would
Okay.
assume Dee Dee has at least mentioned that they're letting their familiar go forward and not letting someone else go forward as well. That's why I've set all of your little tokens on the map as in a line, assuming that none of you have gone forward, but given Kawa's view of the room, you have a sense of what the room looks like. And Kawa's just noticed that the snake-haired individual who you assume must be Camilla is just near a mound that it's almost like a bed of lilies have risen and overgrown what looks basically like a fungal version of a coffin, but it doesn't look as though it's for someone to lay rest. It looks there's a certain level of respect to it, like the lilies are glowing with the same kind of faint glimmer that Camilla's outfit has, and all of the flowers seem to have been arranged in a rather particular manner. Like it doesn't seem like it's just grown wildly, it's been tended to.
Oh, I wouldn't have done the whole head sort of cocking to the side, and I would have actually been like, oh, damn it, I forgot I can't talk through my familiar. And I look to Baya and I say, is there anything you can do? I mean, I know you have other tricks with your sprite.
It'll be awkward, but how long was the flight? They'll just have to wait for a little bit.
It wasn't far. It was at most, from what you can see on the map, that's roughly the distance. Like past maybe, let's say, past about 35 feet, it gets significantly darker. I've just illuminated this section of the map for you because based off what Kawa has seen, Dee Dee could describe the room to all of you. It's just to make it clear and not make it awkwardly like from Mariam's perspective, half of this map is dark, so we can't show it to anyone else.
So sort of, it's not actually
it's not lit up outside of the faint glow that you're seeing from the lilies that are growing all around this sort of
but that's the actual casket. Distance. Then I'd
but
probably
that's the
just
actual distance.
Oh, then I'd probably speak up. I thought we were like 100 feet away or something.
No. Now you've probably would have been able to move a little bit closer. This is part of this is just like there is a map that I have to put you on for the purposes of if stuff happens. But part of this is also like you could be 100 feet away if you wanted to be. This is just more for like the working out the details for streaming so that folks see like this is roughly what the width and everything for what it looks like from your perspective. You could be a little bit farther away from this if you want, but you are also within range to just walk up. But as far as you know, Camilla has just called out and no one has responded to her.
What if we just shout back and forth? That seems like a civil way to petrify you instantly.
Yeah, I looked at my companions.
Oh, you want us to shout before you shout?
Okay,
Hello, I'm Paya.
I'm Dee Dee, and the bird you see is my familiar, Kawa.
We were sent here to talk to you to ask about stuff. Can I have the name GM of the person who sent us?
It would have been, you could either refer to Tatiana or Corbin. Either of them would probably be acceptable in this case, from what the knowledge that you have. They're the two main people who would have recommended Camilla.
Tatiana and Corbin recommended you as a source of knowledge in these parts about recent comings and goings?
Yes. That I would be the one to speak to. I suppose you keep your distance to be away from a monster. Do I have that right?
We totally can't see you right now, so we don't know where you are. This place is really dark. That's legitimately all this is.
Come forward and follow my voice, Tears. If you would like to avoid being too silly with yelling.
Are we echoing all over the cave?
Sure, why
You are
not?
echoing at this point, but it's not so far away that you need to shout like across a giant field either.
Well, I don't know this right because it's pitch black, so I'm just shouting as if across a giant field.
That's fair.
But I will tentatively move closer after, like, I will do the thing where I link arms with my companions and then like tentatively move closer, I guess.
Oh yeah, right now I'm blind and deafened
Sure.
because I'm seeing through Kawa, so I'm literally hooked onto one of you as I'm moving forward.
Okay.
All right.
I'll be on Dee
I
Dee's
mean,
other
like,
side.
how dark is this? Like, would my dark vision be
Your dark
helpful?
vision can see with this. That's why I'm like, did all of you forget that you have dark vision?
Yeah, okay. That's what I was thinking.
Dark
I was like,
vision,
it's
you're
not like a
fine.
magical darkness,
No,
right?
it's not a magical darkness. That's why I've been like, for a minute, I'm like, okay, I don't know if this is just we're all tired and we're all forgetting our abilities because it's been a few weeks, but I would hope dark vision and basic senses are not something you forgot.
Do the lilies turn everything into dim light then? Because when you said pitch
Yeah.
black, oh okay.
No. I just said it's dark in the cave, but sorry, I should have been more clear. It's dark in the cave, but you have dark vision. So for anyone else who is human, pretty much only Lapu's the one struggling in here because Lapu doesn't have dark vision. But Lapu, you do see the dim light coming from the lilies. That's what is giving the like.
Just kidding. We can totally see.
Excuse me, I can't see because
All
I'm
right,
seeing
so
through
someone
my
has
bird.
to lead DD.
Yeah, and also you do kind of have to.
Can
help
someone
Lapu.
please lead me? I
Sure.
see this light.
I'm just okay. This is getting really silly at this point. Yes, I will lead you, and I'll also just prestidigitate like a small flame. I don't have anything to like actually light it with. So if you have like an unlit torch, that'll do. But
Yeah, I'm sure someone in one of your packs has that, so you
Yes.
could get just basic torchlight for.
ta-da! I've led you 5 feet, and now you can see on your own. What a mood!
I have incense sticks. Will smell nice too.
Yeah, I'm
although I
gonna move
cannot see
closer,
him,
too.
I believe we might have broken Ant already because I heard the familiar sound of a thunk of a head potentially hitting a desk. So this is going well, everybody. We're out of schedule and one of us being broken by this. But I will say now, Lapu, because Lapu, what's your perception skill, by the way? What's your passive perception?
13.
13. Does anyone else have? Does anyone have higher than 13 for your perception?
Not me.
I have 16.
You have 16, so you'd probably be the first one to notice this the most distinctly. Everyone eventually does this, but you're the first one to pick up on this. You thought for the most part that Camilla seemed to be alone from this distance. As you get closer, you can see that Camilla is just still standing in the spot that she is, but along the walls and closer to the sort of where the kind of naturalistic casket is, there are two individuals who are most prominent, and then there's a whole bunch of smaller versions of these. So the tallest one is I'd say in terms of body shape, imagine the sort of like hind leg way that a werewolf's kind of digits and legs structure is. But imagine essentially a fungal humanoid who's just taller than a average human. So this creature is roughly 7, 8.5 feet tall. So taller than Lapu.
Okay.
And there's another one that's significantly shorter, of more of and the taller one is of a deep purple and lilac mixed tones all over the body that's forming sort of a chitinous fungal armor. And the smaller one is more of a pinkish red, the armor not as tough, and this one's significantly shorter. But these fungal humanoids just also appear to be watching all of you as you're moving in. And
if you already have guests, we can come back later.
No, they won't bother anyone. The Myconid are simply friends. They are companions and company for whenever I am lonely.
Do they like? They don't seem to be like threatening in any way. They're just
No.
there. Okay.
They have made no movement whatsoever towards any of you. They seem to be watching, but more at most, I'd say, with passive insight from any of you, just kind of observing. There's no sort of aggressive action. They don't seem to be backing away, particularly the tall purple and lilac one, but they're just sort of watching. And along the walls, you can see there are smaller fungal growths that appear to be almost like body sections of fungal humanoids as well, that are also attempting to peer and look at all of you.
I squint and I wave to the little ones.
Yeah, and they...
Jem, you're waving from a long way away. Can you come closer?
But yeah, Camilla just seems to walk forward to all of you, and I would... none of you feel anything. Like, I'm imagining now at this point your characters have a sense of what Camilla might be, but you don't... Any stories you might have heard about what she might be, you don't feel anything, but you do notice she has her eyes entirely covered with cloth that is a mixture of blue and green across it. And she, being closer to her, you notice she's walking with a sort of gnarled cane that seems to be made of similar fungal growths to what you see along the walls.
At this point, I actually get out of Kawa's, stop sharing senses with Kawa and come back to my own.
Hello there, dears. You mentioned that Tatiana and Corbin had sent you. Are they taking pity on an old monster and asking you to give me some company?
Well, not like that. We were actually wondering if you can answer some questions that we have, and both of them told us you were the right person to come to.
I might be, depending on what you need answered. And Lapu, as you move closer, when you finally arrive with the rest of the party and catch up, her face turns in your direction, and while her actual eyes, you can't see them looking directly at you, you see beneath the cloth this faint glow of blue and almost black. And when she looks in your direction, she says, Ulan will be here for you when you most need him in crisis. And Lapu, Ulan is a name you haven't heard in a while. It's the name of one of your siblings.
How do you know about how do you know about Ulan?
She like the color the glow beneath the cloth fades, and she says, "I'm sorry, dear. It's a gift or a curse, depending on who you talk to. I meet new people, and I receive glimpses of what their fate might be."
Ah, hence the glow a few seconds
Yes.
earlier. Ah.
My apologies.
Oh no. Thank you, I guess.
I cannot promise it will be weal or woe, depending on how you take a good arrival in the moment of crisis. But it is what I see for you. I hope it will prove to be good.
Oh, I hope so too.
Who is Ulan?
Ulan,
Oh no, this is Paya turns to Lapu and is like, "Who is Ulan?"
It's it's my older brother.
Okay.
I haven't seen him in a while, so it's hearing his name is kind of a shocker.
Fair enough. Do you want to ask more about Ulan? Do we want to talk about the mound?
Oh no, that was just Camilla's power. I wouldn't. I think that's done. I think I'll see him when it comes.
and it's right about at this point that Baya, you see Camilla's gaze turn towards you, and the same glow appears, and she says, "I'm sorry it cannot be stopped, and that fire will soon arrive for you."
No. I say, and I back up like 5 feet. Stop that. I do not enjoy whatever you're doing.
I'm she snaps out of it and she says, my apologies. The lady is I was born with the lady's sight, and I cannot stop it from occurring. It is merely the will of fate. My manners have left me. My name is Camilla. It's a pleasure to have new people arrive.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't think we introduced ourselves either, except for the random yelling. I'm sorry for the yelling, by the way. I'm Lapu. And I look at Bo or anyone.
I'm Bo. Yeah, we kind of are here for a bit of a reason, but it does also seem like you maybe have a power that, like, I personally don't want to know anything about my future. So maybe you could just not look in my direction so you don't get any visions.
I make no promises, my dear. It's not a matter of whether I want to tell you or not. It's merely what fate has me unfold with my sight.
Sure, but you could just keep it to yourself. Thanks, but no thanks.
As I retreat behind my sister, I'm just gonna say to Dee Dee, I have so many questions about the snake hair. Should I save them for after the mound stuff, or should I ask them now as an icebreaker? Baya takes notes, but otherwise leaves the questioning up to whoever else wants to take point.
Before she turns to look at Dee Dee, and you hear her start to say, "Well, feel free to ask." And as she says, she's about to finish saying the word "ask," you see the glow appear beneath the cloth again, looking in Dee Dee's direction.
Uh-oh.
And
maybe.
Sorry for what you will lose. Perhaps it will return to you, but I'm sorry for what you will lose. It cannot be prevented, for the deal has been made. And then she just snaps out of it again. They interrupt in the worst moments.
Seems like it.
But she says, whatever questions you have, please feel free to sit. The lady has obviously guided me to grant you some answers. Perhaps I can give more. I promise. And she sort of like, after having looked at three of you, in a way, it's loosely understood as looking at all of you. She just sort of slightly and almost creakily walks over to the mound and to the casket and sits on top of it. And you see her just pull out a pair of holy symbols that she just like caresses with her hands, just very faintly. One that appears to be of a gleaming sword with bits of silver hair woven throughout it, and another one that's a crescent moon with a single star hanging from it. For anyone who is interested, you can feel free to roll religion checks to see if you recognize the symbols. But she sits on the top of...
I'm curious.
Of the casket, and she says, ask your questions if you must. I will support you as best I can, and I promise you will not have to be around a monster for very much longer.
You keep referring to yourself as a monster. I don't think that's good self-esteem.
Depends on whether you consider monster to be a bad word, as some people take relish in the word.
That's true.
On hearing you say that, Dee Dee, she merely gestures out in the direction of the statues. And she says, many who've come before you have referred to me as such, so it seems to hold up on inspection.
Oh, I think that's coming on too strong. It's like, my sister just told me, it's like coming to a person asking, how old are you? It's like, why do you call yourself a monster? It's maybe a bit personal for them.
Did you just quote me back to someone else?
Yes, I learned it 5 seconds ago. I'm putting your lessons to use.
I suppose it's my fault.
Right. Well, I mean, Bo like literally has a half beast type form, so she's curious about like why this person is qualifying themselves as a monster.
Hey, but I'm curious about her like snake hair. All right, we all have our
Okay.
curiosities.
Okay.
But Bo has asked the question. So Bo, I'll say for Didi and Bo, I'll say just Bo in this case. I think narratively it's interesting to have that be the case, and I think that was just high enough because neither of you rolled very high. Bo, you know these symbols from your travels to represent one. The gleaming sword is the moonlight sword of the silver-haired night maiden, also known by the name Elistrae, a drow goddess of redemption, revelry, and the arts, and the moon. The other one is a not commonly seen form of the Lady of Moonlight and the Stars, Saloon.
Okay.
But she continues on, I refer to myself because they give me this word, and I have only ever brought ruin upon those who've met me. So it is all I know. My home here is safety from others. You get the impression she does not think highly of herself. This is someone who, in her temperament and even in her just body movements, she's uneasy, but it's not with like your presence. It just seems like she is like shrinking away, and she's trying her best to be subtle about it. But even her snake hairs, the snakes, they're active, but they seem almost like they're cowed, like they're trying to like just very gently like sink against her so that they're not looking at any of you.
Can Kawa make a sort of friendly lap, and if Camilla seems okay with it, sort of perch on her shoulder?
Yes, I would allow that. She just reaches up one of her hands. Such a lovely bird.
It's been my companion.
I have many companions here, and she turns to look at the Myconid. When I had accidents with others, I ran away from my home, and I came here to hide. And I found friends, or at least those who would not turn away from my gaze.
Including the ones next to you, and I point with my head, the tall purple pink one, and the other fungi humanoid. Oh, did they have names? I wave to the taller one. It's not every day I see a taller being than me.
Tap ever so faintly on steps, and she just moves closer to you, Lapu, and she just like very gingerly reaches up to sort of like measure your height, because obviously she cannot see you.
Oh,
Her eyes are covered.
I slowly bend forward.
Oh, look at there. You're such a tall one. Delightful. But she follows that by saying, "That's Sarah, yeah, to the taller one, and the shorter one, that's Liara. They're friends. But my apologies. I've derailed you from your questions. Feel free to ask.
That's totally fine. We are one of the most easy derailable groups. That is totally fine.
I've gathered as much. But come, give an old wretch your questions, and let's see.
Ooh. I look at everyone. Where do we start? Should we ask about the group, the cult?
I guess, although now I'm wondering whether I should ask about what she just said about me. What am I gonna lose?
What if we just talk about what's around us and never talk about the cult at all? That sounds good to me, guys.
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
isn't
If you
that
guys
why
wanna
we're
ask,
here?
I know, but if you all want to ask about the cult, go ahead. If not, I can ask other questions just to fill the space.
I could have sworn, a bit out of character, but I could have sworn the last session we were talking about there were certain like the statues that are in the calm region, for lack of a better word, that there's like the statues are being defaced in some way.
Yes,
And that
you had heard that mounds dedicated.
Yeah, they were being desecrated.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that maybe Camilla might know about them.
Yeah.
About that.
That's something you can
Right.
ask her about. If that is what you want to ask her.
Okay, that would be a good warm up. So
Yeah.
so I tell Camilla like how interested I am in like the statues around this area, but kind of tell her what I've noticed about like or heard the stories of like the desecration of some of them.
Yes, there have been those who wish to unseat that which is natural and give it to the profane. There have been those who have been trained. And she turns to look at Bo, and you see the glow of the eyes, but she doesn't say anything in regards to Bo outside of, like you, those who have gained the power of the storm, of the land, of everything that is natural. Those who have been trained as such wish to give away nature to the profane, to twist it and become something foul. And they work alongside those who you may know as the apostles of Anathema.
Does Bo know them?
I would say, Bo, either roll me a history or a nature check. Depending
Okay.
on which one you do and how well you roll will determine what information you get.
I'm gonna do nature.
Okay, with a 22. You're new obviously to druid stuff. This isn't like something that you've grown up like, I know how to do this kind of thing now. You've even talked to Didi about it feeling almost like, well, this is weird stuff to get used to. But you have traveled around. You've probably, because it was a soldier background, right?
Yep.
Probably even just from your stories, you would have had enough exposure and enough experience through there to have heard about like different kinds of sects of druids across Agni, or even just a place you heard of kind of people you interact with, the kind of types of folk who travel a fair bit. And you had heard stories, usually with some level of like, when people would bring it up, sex as in SECTS.
I mean, I wanted to say something too, but I was like, no, I'm gonna leave that
I was
joke on the
like,
floor.
Oh.
I'm just gonna leave it there.
I love my
I
pointers.
don't always have to do that joke.
But
It's okay. It was all in our minds.
you have heard stories of individuals who they kind of discuss it almost like the way some people talk about the boogeyman, where it's like you don't say the name of them, of these particular sects, because they are the kind of people who to speak that name or even refer to them is sort of it. There's old stories about giving them strength, and the particular group that they're referring to are often those among the druidic persuasion who have tried to master wild shaping or shifting one's physical form into a beast, and tried to look towards other creatures as inspiration for what they might become. In particular, they've looked towards the undead, they've looked towards aberrations, and they look towards fiends. There are often circles related to these. They are very few and far between, but these individuals, you probably would have heard from the stories, are regarded as working as anathema to life itself, to the will of nature, is sort of the approach that a lot of maybe more traditional druids might think of them as, but that's what you get when you hear that phrasing and what Camilla seems to be talking about. That you get the sense from what she elaborates on that there seems to be some sort of influence of such druids that have also been cited in the area with these cult-like individuals that the group is pursuing.
Yeah, that is not a good combination. That it seems like the cult plus druids that are really into perverting nature that's not good together.
I feel like this gets more complicated. The more we find out, the more complicated it's getting.
And more importantly, the more dangerous it's getting for such a small group as ours.
True, but I don't think we can turn our back now. This seems like something that is gonna affect a lot of people. Whatever is growing in strength, whatever this energy is feeding into is not good.
No, and eventually, if we leave it alone, though, it's gonna get so big that we won't have any place to run.
You know, hey, Camilla, you mentioned that you bring ruin, right? And I sort of indicate the statues around us. These people, did they come here to did they drop by to say hello, or did they drop by wishing you harm? Do you know, even?
And you see just very faintly behind the cloth that it begins to become slightly wet, almost like there's just very faint tears coming from her eyes.
If I see that, I smack Baya upside the head.
Oof, says Baya.
And I just glare at Baya.
But I do not try and leave the cave very often, and there were those on a day that I sought to try and leave in the evening. There were travelers who came and startled me when I removed the cloth from my eyes. And, well, that is the result of doing so.
What if there was a way to reverse the ruin? I mean, surely in all the lands of Agni with all these gods and such running about, there should be some elixir or some cure for
Well,
your sight.
I've heard in the kiln, because at some point they put. And I just stopped the minute I realized what I'm getting into. Let's just say that those students were in the infirmary for a while as they needed to call specialized healers to put them back to what they were, flesh.
You know, when a stray flesh to stone spell goes awry, a lot of shit happens. You know, someone becomes stone, their arm breaks off, and then you got to call like 6 clerics to fix the issue and decide which one of them yells at the students and which one comforts them.
Yeah, so let's just say that if someone, decides to be still like a rock for a while, there are healers who can reverse that, but it's very specialized magic.
I mean, how would you feel if you could undo this ruin? Like, is that something you would seek out, knowing that you could undo this? Because they look pretty well preserved, and I'm going to poke at one of the tattoos.
You pay
I would like Lapu and Bo and Dee Dee to roll me an insight check.
What have you
Baya, because you're
done,
poking this
Baya?
tattoos, you are not paying attention.
Insight?
Insight.
Oh boy.
Lapu, I think this is a wonderful moment where the dice feed the narrative. You can tell just from the slight shakes in her body, the tightening of her hand around the cane. She obviously can't see, but it seems as though she just hears very well. That the moment she even just seems to pick up on Baya, like poking the stone, it's a very you hear the sound because I think it makes sense that as a monk you're generally trained to try and pay attention to perceptual data a lot more.
One of my ears swivels.
Yeah, and but especially in this instance with the crit, you hear just a very faint sound of just like flesh against stone, and you just see she shrinks even more, and there's almost this sense of like she's afraid when Baya does that.
I go towards Camilla, and very slowly, so as not to like scare her, I put my hand on top of hers that's on the cane, and are you all right? You're shaking. Please don't. I apologize for my friend. He tends to be very curious.
It is all right. And you see it's almost like the bottom half of her snake hair, like the snakes are trying to like very gently pat her shoulders, almost like they're trying to reach out to comfort her. And the top head is like they've almost like it's both ends of the spectrum of an anxious person having a near panic attack, where one is like super okay, have to stay calm and stay grounded, and the other one is like tightened in fist and intensity. Like the top half of the snake hair is just almost looks like they're like overlapping each other and like pressed up, like someone like closing their hands together in fists, and the bottom half is just trying to comfort her. It is my shame. I would not want to bother others with fixing my mistakes. I have tried to speak with Tatiana and Corbin about this.
Well, that's where we come in, surely. And I turn to the rest of my party and I say, I've noticed you all have a saving people thing, and I'm giving up on this idea of running away from problems. But here we have somebody that the community vouches for, and we have people who have lives to live, who have been turned to stone. We can save them. We can go and talk to clerics, and we can make and do some good for this community that we're in. We don't have to go out and act on this fate that's going to leave me burning in fire and you losing something. We don't have to go out and keep doing this fate related stuff. I left my cult because they said that I was the chosen one. You were upset at me because I always acted like the chosen one. Now we finally left, and you guys keep acting like we're the chosen ones. Why don't we just help this woman? Why don't we help these travelers, she said, return to their lives? Why don't we do something we can do?
This is one of the rare times, brother, that you make some sense. We can at least start the process. I don't know how soon we can get it there. I mean, I have a couple of contacts in the first kiln. We're not too far from them.
Would you want that help, Camilla?
We won't even require a payment because this is me saving my party from themselves. Because I think we can help you and make these people's lives, not rock again. And we won't die in the process or have to chase some conglomerate of diabolists and druids working together to end the world or something like that.
Well, we have to face that at some point, but perhaps we can make some allies and help Camilla before we deal with that.
Xochitl can take care of them. Maybe Chantiko has some heroes that can take care of them. Maybe Sayana can take care of them. Maybe that huge person you met that was more an acolyte of Cord than any of us with really badass tattoos and clothing can take care of them.
Faya,
Yeah?
I would like you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
All right.
Oh.
Go. 23.
Nice.
Yeah.
That looks like a save.
And before DC 20.
Oh, maybe.
Also, I am really impressed with all of you. Also, chat, sorry you can't see this, but we have a private chat where I just tried to break the entire party a bit ago, and I'm impressed with all the party for not breaking. That was impressive.
It kind of scares me when Angela gets quiet.
I know.
Especially if Angela mutes herself.
Yeah. What have you done, Baya? God damn it. I'm scared.
Well, this was fun.
Yeah.
We haven't even hit the cultists yet.
All right.
So nerdwear. It's what the nerds wear.
Paya falls quiet after his latest outburst and doesn't say anything else.
We can't hear you, Angela.
If you wish to solve an old fool's mistakes, you may feel free to do so.
Ooh.
Oh, hello
There's
there,
a
Nat
raid.
Pot Studios. You just joined us at a moment.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Hello.
Whoop, whoop. I have one question that might be a little sensitive, and it's mainly so we know how many people we need to help here. But is the statue near the magic mouth rock piece. Is that a statue? Or is that one of yours? I can't hear you.
Do you mean of Dahlia? No, that is just a monument to a hero.
Oh, okay.
An old
Good.
tale. It has been here since before I was here.
Oh,
Did you think that I'd hurt someone?
Well, we weren't sure before. This was before we even met you or saw you. And again, I apologize. I just wanted to make sure when I do speak to my contacts that I know how many need to be revived, because I know resources can be limited.
I think do what you feel you must. If you think I'm worth helping. And as she finishes saying that, you all start also hearing footsteps from down the tunnel.
do you hear that?
Does it sound like a lot of people or just like one set of footsteps?
Just one set of footsteps.
I ask Kawa to fly in that direction, and I go into Kawa's senses.
As you do so, the light is still fairly dim, but you see slight bit of faint blue glow in the distance. And you see that the glow appears to belong to a blade that is currently drawn out.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
But the figure that you see it belongs to is interesting. You see silvery blonde hair, bit of a chunkier sort of form, the skin wrinkled, but a look of kind of a wizened expression, splint armor that has runes that seem as though they're drawn in undercommon in their musical nature, and some of which appear to have star insignias along it. And the glow appears to be coming from a long sword. And this individual is just calling out, "Hello, Camilla? Are you all right?"
I think Bo is actually gonna address Camilla and say, "Is this a friend of yours?"
Yeah, yes, that is And she stops talking, but I'd say Lapu and Bo, if you two are the closest to Camilla, definitely Lapu, but probably everyone who is paying attention to Camilla, you do see the cheeks beneath the cloth for Camilla. They do slightly redden.
I'm currently blind and deafened, so I do
So-
not pay attention.
Didi does not see that, but Lapu and Bo, you would see that.
Yeah,
I'll say you don't see that. You have something else on your mind. Possibly.
I look, but I don't say anything. But I have this face, like.
It's even better to imagine this is a long-faced furball who's just tall, you making that face. Because I've seen Aleta's artwork. We love you, Aleta, by the way.
Yes.
But Aleta's artwork of Lapu that was posted up like ages ago. Just imagine that face doing the one that Jem was doing, like. But the figure, the drow woman in splint armor, carries forward with a gleaming longsword. Says, "Hello, Camilla?" And Camilla just speaks out. It's fine, Beatrice. I am all right. We have company.
Hello.
Oh. Well, that's. You see her sheathing the sword, and she seems like a very capable sort of woman. Like, she's definitely got that, like, chunkier, very muscular, big kind of build to her. And the armor, while it appears kind of faded, it looks like it's got a lot. It's got like a lot of dings in it. Definitely doesn't look like armor that's been kept out of. It's been like well taken care of. He's
Uh,
like, oh, apologies. It's not often that Camilla has people come by to visit besides myself.
Kawa lands on the stranger's shoulder.
Oh, hello there. Aren't
And-
you just adorable?
And now I
Sorry.
basically have this weird shoulder cam as my eyesight.
Sorry, we didn't mean to interrupt anything.
I was just coming to have a visit and chat with Camilla and keep her more company, give her some more company. And I'd say Lapu because you've been the closest to Camilla. You do see her shrink, but from reading her body language, it doesn't seem in fear this time. It seems almost like shyness.
Ooh.
Yes, Beatrice is another devoted of, well, our ladies. She points back to the casket and mound, and she is a very capable warrior of the Moon Maiden and the Lady of Moonlight as well. She is a friend.
Friend. Mm-hmm.
My apologies. This is, and she takes the time to give all of your names that you've given to her to Beatrice, and Beatrice replies, oh,
I am
well, that's
blind and I can't hear.
just goes up and slightly like pokes your head. They,
Hey, I can see that.
oh,
Except it's really awkward. I think I might be sick. As, you know, the bobbing camera sort of effect.
Didi, you don't have to talk so
is it-
loud. We can hear you.
Wait, Didi, are you
okay.
talking or is this Kawa?
No, I'm
who's talk-
talking.
Okay. all
It's Didi, but since they can't hear themselves, they're going loud.
right.
Okay, Didi. Didi.
sort of Beatrice looks at the bird, then looks at Dee Dee, and then just sort of makes like an X out sign towards the bird. And like also says to the rest of you, perhaps canceling the familiar connection would be best. This might simplify things.
And I get out of Kawa's senses. It was like, oh, hey, you're a lot taller and also not as big as I thought you were. It's weird seeing through Crowcam.
Well, perhaps you should stay out of it a little bit. Interact with people a bit more.
Especially if they're in a bush, then it's Crowcam bush.
You're an odd one. Must be one of those learned types I've heard so much about from Backfire.
I'm going to try to say the word Didi right now.
It comes out just fine.
Okay, so Didi.
Yeah.
Never mind. Forget it.
Okay.
And she checks it, and she just sort of she walks over to Camilla, and she's just, you can tell like this is a person who has seen quite a lot of battle, but who also carries herself with almost a very particular kind of gentleness as she gets closer to Camilla, and she says, "Are you sure you're okay?"
I step away, like without being too obvious, because I can kind of sense they want that space, and yeah.
Yeah, Beatrice just sort of walks Camilla over to another corner of the cave just to sit down. And Camilla says, if you have any other questions, there's more I'm sure we could discuss. From what I can tell you, there is more growing. And of what I've seen and what I have heard from the lady, Melora's blessing is perhaps where the next steps may be occurring.
Towards Melora's blessing?
Yes.
Ooh.
And you see she looks towards all of you, and I will all of you will have this information, but an additional detail I will share after all of you roll an insight check for me.
Mer. Mer.
Insight?
Insight.
Ooh, nice.
Okay. Camilla turns to look at all of you and she says that the first of many ascensions will occur there.
Do we all hear that?
Yeah, you see the eyes glow
Uh-oh.
before she says that, and I will say, because it was Paya, everyone hears Camilla's voice. In your mind, how you process what she just said, you hear your patron's voice.
Okay.
Dee, you are the only one in the party to notice that when Camilla is looking at all of you, and then she has that moment, she lingers ever so faintly, just maybe a beat or two longer than the rest of you, on Paya.
What was the wording of the line that she said?
The first of many ascensions will happen there.
Gotcha.
And my eyes sort of narrow and furrow with a little worry and concern. Also confusion. You are cutting out, Angela.
Oh, sorry. She just takes a moment to stop and she says, I must rest. What I see takes from me as well. And I need a moment to rest. If you will allow me it.
Yes.
We're sorry. I think we took up most of your time already, unless there's anything else. I look at everyone that you want to know. I think we took up most of their time already.
Yeah.
And you see Beatrice just sort of gently help move Camilla away. And you all hear echoing down the tunnel. You just hear growls all of a sudden. So you're hearing
Can I?
Where?
From behind us?
from
Where is
outside. You're hearing it echoing down the tunnel from
I'm-
behind where you just came.
Okay.
but it sounds very distant. Like you're hearing very faintly. You're hearing more. You're definitely hearing growls, but the bits of words you're catching like one every so often, and you get something like "surround them."
I'm gonna again go.
Oh.
I'm gonna go into Kawa's senses again, and Kawa's gonna fly towards the source.
Okay.
Bo definitely has her hand on the like half of both of her axes, like ready because that did not sound good.
I look at Beatrice and Camilla, well, more at Beatrice and go, I don't know if you heard that, but this doesn't sound good.
Doesn't.
Is there any place you can take? Is there any place you can take Camilla to?
I will speak with the Myconid, and I will make sure that they can protect her as need be.
Are they after Camilla? I attempt to say.
You say it. It comes out perfectly fine.
Okay.
Like so far, by everything you've said past the point of when you were speaking about like just
Understood.
you get what I'm saying.
Yep.
You only stopped talking in relation to certain things you were talking about. Everything else has been fine. But
are they after you, Camilla?
I do not know. I know not of what the cult or the what the apostles want from me.
Well, no time like the present to test it. I use Mask of Many Faces and become Camilla.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna address Camilla and say I think that you and your companion should perhaps find a place to hide right now.
We'll do what we can. Beatrice responds in kind to you. I will make sure Camilla is safe, tucked away and safe. And if need be, I will join you.
Has Kawa had enough time to scout and see what is there?
Yes. I would like you. How are you doing this? Are you just having Kawa just rush out? Are you trying to have Kawa go stealthily? What are you doing? What is your immediate thought as Didi in that moment sending out Kawa?
I think sending out Kawa to get eyeballs first. And hopefully no one's gonna attack a crow. And as they're getting close to the cave mouth, maybe try to be more stealthy, but for the most part, it's speed. To get basically use the senses, see what's coming.
Okay. Roll me a perception, then I'll tell you what happens.
Okay, so I believe I can use Kawa's perception for that.
You see as Kawa goes back up the tunnel and it reaches the outside of the tunnel opening, you see 3 creatures who are waiting outside. You see one who appears to be wearing a rather rusty but still functioning chain shirt with a long glaive and a long bow. You see another that appears to be just has a piece of just flesh. It's hard to tell whether it's just a random bone, the leg of a creature that might have been living a short time ago, that's just chewing on and just gnawing on it intensely. And then you see another that just seems to be barely like we're talking about, I forget, I think his name is Ed from The Lion King, like the third hyena who's just like
He's just like
but think more feral, think more in the range of like it's like
okay, more frightening. Okay.
Yes.
And do they look like essentially hyena folk?
Yep. I think Didi is well read enough to know these are gnolls of some kind. And you see one is directing and seeming like to have them positioned outside of the cavern opening. However, you also see, unfortunately too late, as all three of them in unison raise up their hands, and you see a small pool of energy coalesce at the tips of their hands that's very strikingly like Baya's, as three rays are fired out all at Kawa.
Okay, well, Kawa's toast.
Yeah. Especially since I rolled a 17 and an 11. Even with
Yeah,
as low as their modifiers are, Kawa's not going to avoid
that's
it.
okay. I'll summon Kawa later. So as soon as I basically lose connection, I say, "There's three creatures, and they both." And I turn to Baya. I think they're from the cult. They have powers similar to you, and they're coming.
In Camilla's voice, are they people that we knew?
Do I reckon? Yeah, no, but I
That's
think
right.
they look like the creature we saw when we were resting.
Then let's be smart about this. I have this blindfold. I will walk forward and take it off. Either, if they're not immune, they should turn away from me. That will give you a chance to strike without them seeing you.
If they don't strike you first.
If they strike and they know that they're going after this person, they know about the stone. If they're immune, there's nothing else we can do, and I can attack anyway. But maybe with this, we can get them by surprise.
I cast oh no, that's only self, never mind. I can't cast that on you.
While Dee Dee's working out that spell, what are you two doing? Because you, while you're doing the spell prep right now, Dee Dee, you're just hearing the voices getting a little bit more agitated and aggressive. And they're like,
I actually cast Mass Healing Worst and have all 6 links go in Baya's hand.
I feel so fucking ridiculous right now.
If they attack, you'll need that. Trust me.
I store the sausages in the robes that Camilla is wearing. That are, well, I guess disguised in my illusionary form.
So are you, and so my question to you is, because we're going to be going on break in just a few minutes, and I will have to prep the new battle map and other things that could be used. Are you going out just by yourself ahead of the group, Baya, or what are you all as a group deciding to do right now? Because you can tell just from the sound, you don't even need to roll insight on this. They're getting they're getting more and more agitated as time is passing.
I will talk to the group and I'll say, I will go in front, all of you behind me. And when they turn away, you attack. I will keep the disguise up to see how long I can fool them or at least confuse them. But if it fails, then I will just be myself, as I have been in so many other fights.
I will be 30 feet behind.
I'm close to Dee Dee just in case.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna want to be like as close as I can be to the hyena people without like interfering with whatever Baya's doing.
So we'll say it's at least about half of one of your movements, Bo's distance away. That way, that's a good enough where it's Baya's out front, but you could easily get into the fray without it being too much trouble. Because I imagine Bo in this scenario, if I have it right, is not someone who's like looking to be way out in the back right now.
No.
Get into it if needed.
Not at all.
But yeah, as the party begins to move back towards the tunnel, towards the entrance, getting closer to these three creatures who appear to have eldritch blasted Kawa back to the Fey realm.
Just had 1 hit point. Just 1 good hit would be enough.
Yeah. But as the party is doing this, hoping to pull off a gambit and a ruse that will hopefully save their hides for whatever fight is coming up, we are going to move to a break. So, thank you for those of you who've been staying with us through this slowly escalating bit of episode, as it's been a few weeks and I had to kick up some things. But before we go into break, for those, if possible, why not head over to roll20.net/start/WTTP and sign up for your free account today. Over 4 million people use Roll20's virtual tabletop to power their favorite games, like us. And with modules galore on the marketplace, I'm sure you'll find something to enjoy. Maps are great on here. There's a lot of little functions, and I make a lot of these things all the time. And with the stuff that my delightful players have bought me, I will likely be using those a lot in the future as well, possibly with more and more of the little NPCs, because they're cute. But we're going to go on break for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to see how this second half plays out as the party gets into it. So we'll see y'all in about 10 minutes.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. If you get a second during break, you should check out one of our amazing sponsors. We're now proudly sponsored by Roll20, the best virtual tabletop for all your role-playing needs. Over 4 million people use Roll20's virtual tabletop to power their favorite games. And with more modules than you can shake a stick at on their new revamped storefront, you'll definitely find something for your group to enjoy. Sign up today by clicking the link below or heading to roll20.net/start/WTTP. Tabletop Loot is an amazing place to get your dice bags, dice boxes, and more. And now you can get 15% off your purchase at tabletoploot.com by using the code WTTPDICE at checkout. Tabletop Loot. Your party starts here. While you're at it, check out our so awesome merch store, So Nerdware. So Nerdware is the place to find all your Welcome to the Party merch and other amazing stuff too. Head on over to sonerdware.com and use the code WELCOME at checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. So Nerdware. It's what the nerds wear. Devin Rue, the amazing mistress of maps, has kindly supported the channel since the beginning and provides graphics for many of our streams. Head on over to rueinc.com to check out some of the best fantasy cartography on the web. Our Patreon supports the creators and producers of the channel by providing Roll20 subscriptions, cost coverage for video hosting, and more. If you want to support the channel while getting podcasts a week early, gaming articles that are published on Patreon first, a shout out during our break, and more, head on over to patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg and throw us a buck or $5. And last, but certainly not least, help out the party. Subs and bits not only support the stream, but also every 500 bits or a tier 1 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a reroll or system equivalent, and every 1000 bits or tier 2 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a crit or system equivalent. Thanks again for hanging out with us today. The game will be back in just a few minutes.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
And hello there, everybody. We return at a rather tense moment as the party is putting a lot of eggs in a basket of taking a gambit and having a disguised Baya walk out ahead of the group. I have changed the map, and the party can feel free. I decided to try and roughly match up the distances, but the 15-foot wide space is roughly the opening to the tunnel that the party went through previously. And I tried to space it out roughly to where the enemies were located versus where the party might be and the distance they want to keep. This is rough visual sort of tool to help us see that. Baya, you said you wanted to be out ahead, so yeah, you see 3 of these hyena-like individuals. Just one of them incredibly agitated, one in chainmail, and the third that seems to be just like gnawing on bits of flesh. They're all just waiting, and they all seem to take note of your appearance. What do you do, Baya?
I think I'll say, if it's me you want, state your business with me. And as I say that, I'm going to sort of reach up my hand to the cloth, as if to tug at it, but like clearly not tugging it down yet.
Right.
And I'm going to continue to say, but don't hurt any of my other guests.
Okay.
Can
I would like you to make me a deception check. I'll say because of your disguise, I'll give you advantage on it.
Key. Big dice, no whammies.
Can I stealthily cast, like after Ant has done that, can I stealthily cast Mirror Image on myself?
I mean, you can, but it's going to be quite noticeable that there are 3 of you present. Just as a note, because it's a visual thing too. It's not just like, I'm careful and no one sees me casting this. And no one also notices the 3 other copies of me that are now also present.
It also has a vocal component and a somatic component, so you'd be waving your hand and saying magic words unless you had subtle spell.
Well, that's what I meant by attempting poorly to stealthily cast it.
Yes, you can poorly attempt to stealthily cast it, and
but maybe I'll wait until Paya is done doing their thing before I do that.
Baya, you see them, they all look as you begin to tug at it, and they all drop their gaze, but none of the aggression ceases.
Now I cast it.
If ever there was a time to cast it, that was the time to cast it. But all 3 of them just sort of like, she calls us. Must bring her. Bring her. Bring her.
I'm going to take off the blindfold and throw it at the ground so that they, with their lowered gazes, can see where it has fallen. And my eyes are going to be hilariously inaccurate because Mask of Many Faces allows me to, make changes, but I haven't seen what her eyes look like. So just some cartoon approximation of eyes there.
This is true. I will say this. In response to seeing the cloth on the ground, they get more agitated, but I would say because you're the closest, Baya, all of you see this, but Baya, you're the one to see that most clearly. All 3 of them, all across their body, you just see just sections of ice forming a carapace-like armor all across them. All 3 of them do this.
Fighting a Medusa in her domain is not the wisest choice. What do you want from this monster? Speak your purpose.
You will be sacrificed. The rest are going to be taken.
I have a mirror in my bag here, and I'm going to pull out a steel mirror. I will look at it if you wish to sacrifice me. Convince me of your purpose. Meanwhile, with my left hand, I'm like gesturing, like, oh, you can't see me because I don't have a camera. Okay, I've been gesturing all this time to y'all. Sorry. With my left hand, I'll gesture at the party, go, go, go. But meanwhile, I'm like doing this little mummery with them.
Okay. I will let everyone in the party, because Baya has said, I want you to show me your, essentially like show me like your intent and all that. You will all get a chance to do an action, like just do a turn, but this will happen simultaneously as all 3 Knoll creatures rush Paya. Their heads down, so they're roughly approximating where Camilla is, but all 3 are rushing.
Does that include me?
Say that again?
Does that also include me? Do I get an action?
Yes, I'll say you also get an action if you can think of something to do. Well, all you see, you most clearly see all 3 of them running, but everyone you're seeing that all 3 of them are rushing at Baya right now. They're all converging all at once.
Are these blue circles on the map like actual obstacles?
So I was just about to get into that. So those blue circles, I believe this group has dealt with the lavender anti-magic crystal problem.
Oh, yes.
All
Okay.
of the circles on the map you see outside of this tunnel, those are all patches of it that if you are standing in it, you've tested the effects before. I will tell you mechanically, out of character, if you're in there, your magic is nullified entirely. And it seems to extend.
Right. If we step inside it.
But not if you're like next to it.
No, not if you're next to it. Next to it's fine. Think of the circles as effectively the area of effect.
Okay.
Because it's patches of flowers and they have a radius that emanate out, but just treat whatever area is covered by that circle as what will be negated magically. So if, for example, a gnoll begins to chase after you and you're someone like Dee Dee who gets stuck in the circle, Dee Dee would not be able to cast spells at all in the circle.
Mm-hmm.
So don't leave Dee Dee there is the one of the prime takeaways, but also Lapui, you know, based off, I think, prior experience, your key abilities also don't seem to work there either.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So yeah.
Okay.
With that being the case, everyone start figuring out your actions and get ready to roll initiative. But everyone, whatever order you want to do it, everyone do their actions because the gnolls, they're all going to take their turn. But
clarification: do we get a turn or just an action?
I will say, unless you're trying to run away, Paya, everyone will have the running, but you, since you're trying to convince them, you kind of have to stay in place. You still get your action, but everyone else, because they're like prepped to try and respond, because I'm assuming that was essentially what you all mentioned, that like you're all ready to jump into it. I'll say you will get your action and bonus action, but if you're trying to keep the illusion going, you can't move. Everyone else will get the movement, action, and bonus action, if that makes sense.
Amazing. Awesome.
So yeah, everyone figure out what your actions are because all 3 gnolls are running directly at Baya and they're all going to take their attacks. This is going to be rough.
Bonus action. Okay, I'm gambling everything. Bonus action. Don't let me die here, sister. I used Bardic Inspiration on Dee Dee.
Okay. Dee Dee, you have, it's D6 at the level you're at right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, I'm a level 1 bard forever, so. And then action. As I say that, I cast Fireball centered on the gnoll in front of me.
Including yourself?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Well. Go big or go home, everybody.
Well, we're currently 30 feet away, so we shouldn't be in it.
Yeah. Everyone else in the party isn't going to get hurt by this. You know what this means. I imagine that's why you're doing it. So they, hilariously, all 3 of them save.
That's unfortunate.
Wow.
Damn.
19, 17, and 17.
I failed.
You were the only one who did not save in that.
Wow.
Wow.
Well,
It's a good thing. It's a good thing I gave you those worse.
41 points.
Right. Oh my god.
Oh, the fireball had already rolled for you.
Oh, okay. 23
So,
points.
Yes, so you are taking the full 23. The rest of them are taking the 11.
Okay.
Yes, so
you
see...
don't want 41 points.
No.
No. I'm ruling as because the one that you rolled, I'll take that one. And in this situation, you probably want to be taking the lower one. But you all notice as this fireball goes off, what's left behind? All of them look hurt, but they appear to have dodged out of some of the brunt of it. The ice armor appears to have been entirely broken off from all three of them. Almost like it was temporary hit points that are now gone. I wasn't expecting a fireball.
Well,
right out the beginning.
As the smoke clears, I would like to magic missile one for each of them, and I'm going to strengthen it with another level 1 spell slot to do 2d10 damage with it.
For each one of them?
For each one of them, because of alchemical casting.
Okay. We're gonna get into this. Holy shit. Yeah, and that's roll the damage, Dee Dee, because that's Jesus, yeah. So the first one, it's 1d4 and 2d10, and then that's gonna apply to all three of them. Oh boy, this is gonna hurt.
So do I do it again 2 more times, or are we just all take the same? If you want to do
it it's up to you. If you choose that one, all three of them are gonna take it. If you reroll, you'll have to do it for all three.
I'll just stick with one for now.
Okay, the one who was gnawing flesh is already looking incredibly hurt.
Actually, Angela, one more point of clarification. Sorry, I'm interrupting another player's turn, but I need to do this on my turn. Would you allow me to fall prone? Because I would like to fall prone and pretend I've died, or unconscious, rather.
I would allow. Here's the thing. This is the only reason I'm gonna ask you if you really want to do that. I normally don't, but all three of the gnolls are gonna take their attacks on you.
I do, because they said they want to sacrifice me. And I know from being a diabolist that you can't just have a sacrifice by murder hobering something on a looting run.
Not unless they bring you back.
Yep.
They could kill you.
That's what I'm banking on.
They're all gonna take their attacks on you.
I will fall prone.
It was going to be a disadvantage because they weren't looking at you, but now that you're prone on the ground, I will nullify it to just a straight roll for all three.
Okay.
So, yes, you can do that. Dee Dee, if you have anything else with your bonus action that you wanted to do?
I'm good.
This one would normally have advantage, but for another reason, but that one is just going to take its attacks. So that's going to be bite. And then short sword. So that is going to be, oh dear, that's bad. Yep, that's real bad. 2 of those miss.
I wanted to take an action during. You said we could all do something.
These are
before.
all happening at the same time. That's why I'm going through. I'm trying to do this sequentially, but you have to imagine that all of these attacks and these spells are going off at the exact same time. So if you have something, if you wanted to like rage and jump into it, your attacks, no matter what, if they hit or not, that will depend on your rolls. But you can go through with the attacks. I'm just letting you all know this is like happening all at once because fireball happened and.
Yeah.
You got the puppies mad. Okay, so we'll say that was the flesh gnar. That is natural 20. So that is going to be. God damn it. Actually, I will keep that. And when I re-rolled, it was the same exact thing. So that's 2 on a crit plus 2. So that is 4 piercing damage from the flesh gnar's bite.
Nice.
And its short sword, both of them miss. So that one does not manage to get you. The pack lord is going to make 2 attacks, both with the glaive it has on its back.
Okay.
It's pulled out. One is a 23 and the other one is a 12. I know your armor class is 13, so the 23 will hit you.
Okay.
That is going to be 8 points of slashing damage.
Y'all can see my health bar, right? Or is it shown only to me?
I think it's shown only
I'm
to
seeing
you.
it.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just curious. Never mind.
I'll tell you right now, it's dropping real quick.
Yep.
And then the final most crazed creature, or most frenzied creature, is actually not just going to attack. You see coalescing in this creature's hand a blade of dark shadow and blood red energy that to you, Baya, smells like blood and peaches.
Okay.
This shadowy blade is then made to take an attack on you. But thankfully, it only rolled an 11. Unfortunately. So it isn't able to actually connect.
All right.
But yeah, all three of these creatures are ganged up on you. Bo, if you had your...
Yeah. So Bo wants to, so it's a 1 action and 1 bonus action?
Yes, and you'll get your
Okay.
movement. Like just treat it as a normal full turn, but this is
Okay.
just all... It's not quite happening like sequentially. These are all just things that
Right.
are happening all at once.
Okay, so Bo, while there's the fireball going off and then the missiles and whatever, Bo is actually going to go past them. Like take her movement and wait, let me get back to the right arrow. Take her movement and go past them here. And she is going to, she has her 2 axes out, and she's gonna like clang them together, and that's sort of the whatever, I forgot the name of it, the VS or the M, one of those,
Thematic
of yes, of her casting Thunder Wave.
Ooh, okay. That is a it's con save, right?
It is yes, a con save.
What's the range of that?
Yeah.
It is 15 feet. That's why I moved past, because you are just on the edge. Like you're like not.
You have enough movement that I'll say I think it would just avoid it, because it is.
Yeah, it would be like here is the edge of the 15 feet.
Yeah, we'll say
Can you
regardless.
see that?
Bo is, regardless of being new to spellcasting, you are also smart and competent enough to angle the casting not towards your ally or just far enough. So it's
like,
all three of them will have to.
Like this is the range of it.
Okay, so that is.
I don't know how to get rid of that now.
Okay,
okay, let me, and I'm going to cast it at 2nd level.
Okay.
Let's see. Can I?
Second level spell slots is just a level 1.
Yeah. Yeah, I have 2 2nd level.
Wait, why do you?
No, wait, did I put that in wrong? No, I did. I put that in wrong somehow. It is a 1st level. It's 1st level.
I was like,
no, I was actually, I think I was reading this wrong. It says I have 2 spell slots, and I was seeing that as.
Oh, you thought it was a 2nd level spell slot. No,
Yeah.
don't worry. That spellcasting is difficult in this game. Let's
I don't use Roll20 a lot for the characters that I have that spellcast.
Well, okay, Bo. So one of them may die from this. 2 of them definitely fail. The most frenzied Shadow Blade wielder is definitely rolls a natural 20, so is not currently being hurt by the. Is not pushed back by the Thunder Wave. The other 2 are.
Okay. Let me do the 2d8.
This is very big, because this could actually take out one of the creatures.
Why are they moving?
because they get pushed back from the thunder wave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not moving them just because they want to
That
get away from you. No. Oh, Jesus. Oh, that is. Oh, you just missed it. One of the creatures
Really?
has 1 hit point left.
Okay. Well, I
But
mean, still.
it looking real rough.
Yeah.
It's not going well for him.
Yes. And after doing that, then she will use her bonus action to rage now because she couldn't cast while raging.
Okay. So
Clever.
you also have a turn. If there's anything with your monk abilities, or if you just want to like get up close to any one of them and give them good smack.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to go to one of them. Ooh, it's nice that they're all at different spots now for the thunder wave. Doesn't matter. So did you say all of them were kind of looking pretty rough? Or-
The Fleshnar, the one that was chewing on like leftover like meat and flesh
guy?
from some unknown creature,
That's gross.
was definitely like barely alive.
Is it this guy?
It's the bottom right one. The
Yeah,
top
this
one
one.
is the most frenzied one, is the one
This
who's
one?
looking the best. The left one is the pack lord. The
Okay.
right one, the bottom
Okay.
right one, is the one who's looking like they're about to collapse. Like we're talking like very hurt puppy levels of about to collapse.
Well, I hope I can do that. Yeah, I will move next to them or move. Oh, damn it. And I'd like to, instead of using my fists, I kind of want to whip out Storm Reaver and give him a little
Ooh.
shock.
All right, give a hit. Let's see what happens.
All right. Oh God. How do items work like that? Do I just click Storm Reaver? There's a lot of checks.
Yeah. So let me pull up your sheet.
Yeah, it's just
Stormweaver.
just click on Storm Reaver, right?
Yeah, just click on the Stormweaver and it
Okay.
will roll for you. +1 weapon. That is exactly its armor class.
Nice.
All right.
Click in the chat the Stormweaver and we'll see how much damage. Just this is just more for your. Oh my god.
Wow.
That is.
I think
max
he's dead.
damage. Yeah, that's max damage. Yeah, feel free to describe how the first null creature goes down, because
Yeah. So I as I run up to the knoll, I like whip up the staff and kind of do this twirl, and then just like, and as I'm twisting it, the staff is like crackling with energy with the thunder, and when I smack it, it lets out onto the knoll.
and it's just like
Yep.
the creature like
Fizzle.
it shocks and vibrates the creature so much the hand that was holding on to the bit of flesh, or the like its like the sections of his mouth, the section of its jaw that was still chewing on flesh just gets blown off and it just collapses. So that one is down. I think that is everybody.
Yeah.
So now everyone roll for your initiative.
Okay.
That the opening volley of fireballs straight up.
Why did Bo? I'm very dissatisfied with that initiative.
We tied, Bo. We tied. God damn it. What the heck? I'm a monk.
Thank you, Techno Scald, for the raid.
Hi there, Techno.
Oh, hey!
You join us for
Hi.
a null party. You join us for a null party. It's going well. You're
A
here
no
for-
beating party.
null beating party. Like, honestly, you just missed a moment of our bardlock just opening volley of I will cast fireball on myself and blow up everything around me.
And failed their Check.
and fail.
And more importantly, was the only one to fail the check. All three of the other creatures succeeded.
Damn, we got pretty low initiative. What the
Yeah.
heck?
So
I know.
Them gnolls, yo.
Them gnolls.
them gnolls.
Wait, are
At
they
least
known
there's
for,
only two
are they known
now.
for speed? Are gnolls known for speed?
Well, here's the thing.
As a
One
new
with the
D&D player?
glaive begins beating its glaive against its chain shirt,
Oh,
and
shit.
as it does so,
Uh-huh.
you see.
Mm.
Well, hold on. Let me double check this. Oh yeah, before it does that, it
Shit. It randomly
fuck it.
dies.
Yeah, fuck it. It just saw its buddy. It saw its buddy do that. So you see it beat the glaive against its shirt, and then the gnoll that was the most frenzied and previously was attacking Baya, feels compelled to
Oh, shit.
rampage and run directly at Lapu, and it
No, he doesn't.
Going-
He doesn't have to.
and it doesn't have to.
No.
And I have to double check something real quick.
I
it
compel
keeps
you
its shadow
to
blade.
go back.
It maintains its shadow blade,
Hmm.
so it is going to take a full attack round on you, Lapu, because he just killed its friend. So that is going to be does a 16 hit you?
Oh, that is my armor class, yeah.
Okay. Gotta get out the D8s for this. Thankfully, didn't roll very high. You take 7 points of psychic damage as you feel the gnoll carve this blade across you, and it doesn't leave a physical trace, but you feel your mind suddenly invaded by images of fire, of death, and of a garden of faces. Just endless faces just staring at you. And it's agonizing psychic pain. And now for its actual turn, because that was just it using its Incite Rampage ability.
Wow, okay.
Oh, boy.
The Pack Lord is going to actually no. Now that I think about it, it's got a goddamn glaive. It's going to hit you from over here. It's going to use its reach on its glaive, and it's going to take 2 attacks. One is going to be on Baya, who, with being bloodied, the illusion is not holding up anymore. And you see, Baya, as you've been bleeding out, the Pack Lord now also begins to go into a frenzy in response to the blood, and it gets advantage on its attack to hit you. It already had advantage because you were prone, but it seems as though it's reacting even more violently towards the presence of blood. It gets advantage because you don't have all your hit points. However, it only rolls, and I think, yeah, that's only an 11 to hit. So one's going to go on you. Second one is going to go on Lapu. That is... Oh, it was almost a natural 20. That's an 18 to hit Lapu.
Yeah, it hits.
Are they just able to, like, because they've hit me, realize that the illusion doesn't match with the physical thing?
It's more you are bloodied, and the blood is like going through the sections of what your outfit was before.
Oh, rip.
You cast a fireball on yourself. You have done this. But thankfully, that's the lowest I could roll for its attacks. That's only 4 points of slashing damage to you, Lapu. But
Sweet.
like you just see it, this thing is becoming more intense, and it just stabs. It tries to stab at Baya, but Baya rolls out of the way. But it then turns around with unerring speed, and it just stabs you right through the gut. It's not deep though. You manage to like just parry it off to the side, so it doesn't go very deep. But the psychic damage and the glaive hurt are gonna build up. But that's it for its turn. And Baya, it's your turn. Mr. Fireball, what would you like to do?
Oh, that again, of course.
Wait, you want to cast Fireball again on yourself?
Yep. Well, it's not on my. I didn't cast it on myself the first time. Won't cast it on myself second time. I would like to cast it centered here.
Okay.
And as I do so, I will say, you played yourself. And in doing so, I would hope that my ballsiness inspires Lapu, and I would like to give Lapu a bardic inspiration.
Okay. So
Fireball time.
You have a D6. So the bard is doing the bard lock is doing bard lock things and has failed the save again.
I am.
Wow.
God damn.
Are you dead at this point?
No, because the fireball can't do more than 46 damage to me, so I'm fine.
Yes.
Okay.
But so how many of the creatures were you able to hit with the fireball with targeting it there?
I have direct lines to both of them without going through the blue space, so both of them should get hit.
Okay. So that is 13.
That was the only space I could find that didn't also hit Lapu.
Ah, that makes sense. So that first one
Thanks.
is 16. And the second one is only a 13. So the
Oh, I didn't actually hit fireball. Let me actually click on that spell.
I will cast the Null Fang of Inagu as
38.
Holy.
so that one takes half.
God damn.
Wait.
The
You have
other one is
resistance,
going-
don't you?
No, I'm not a tiefling. I'm a hobgoblin.
Yeah, but as part of your back, don't you get it?
Nope.
I don't think he gets that till later.
Listen, they just trained me to not be a vain person and to be very mission oriented. They didn't train me how to go through fire.
They brainwashed you into blow. I'm not gonna go there.
Tactically effective, and now your worst are also properly cooked.
Wait, do you get Fiendish Resilience at level 6? Or is that a level 10 ability?
I do get it at level 10, yeah.
Yeah, so you don't have the resilience yet. So Baya, you do not kill yourself with doing this. You also do not kill either of the gnolls, who are both extremely pissed off and hurt.
Yep. You know the fun thing? Disguise self doesn't require concentration and lasts an hour, so I'm still disguised even though unconscious. Such is the power of my patron.
So Baya's legit unconscious now?
Baya is
Yeah.
unconscious.
Okay.
So Zola the Gorgon is now toast. All melty.
They're both of the pack of the gnolls that remain are quite hurt. But Lapu, you see the most frenzied of the gnolls turn towards you. Turn towards Baya, and it looks like they're about to take the shadow blade and just pierce it right down into Baya. And then you see it just become agitated and grip its head for a second, and then it turns its attention towards you, almost like it's being compelled not to do something.
What is wrong? What is wrong with these gnolls?
They're irregular gnolls.
I'm starting to see that.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
that's only 15 to hit you, which does not
Nope.
pass. So that gnoll is just chilling right there. Lapu and Didi, it's your turn.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to kind of, magic missile them to submission?
Sure, magic missile away. I'm still a little my brain is still kind of fried a bit.
Okay.
So, go on.
I'm gonna cast magic missile at 2nd level so that I get 4 darts, and then I am going to use my last 1st level slot to augment them with force damage, because alchemical casting. So
Okay.
each of them are
Roll.
gonna take 2d4 plus 2 plus 2d10 damage.
What the hell?
Wow.
Freaking
Lore
D&D.
Master is real strong. Lore Master is real strong. But
What
also
is that class? War Master?
Lore Master.
Master, okay.
Lore Mastery Wizard.
So
God
22 each.
damn.
Okay.
Hot damn.
Wow.
That is a lot of damage, Didi.
Hot damn.
Bo, if you wouldn't mind, real quick, roll me a perception check.
Sure.
Lapu, it's your turn.
Okay. I'm still gonna engage with the one in front of me, so I'm just gonna go with unarmed strike. So 2 attacks.
All 3 of my images are enraged at what they're doing to my brother.
They've done virtually nothing to your brother. Your brother just blew up twice.
I don't know that.
Do any of those hit?
And against the Yanago creature, that is going to be a big old nope.
You have a bardic inspiration.
That's true. You do have
Oh.
bardic inspiration. If you wanted to add a d6 to the 13, I would.
Oh, is
allow
that
you
how
to-
it works?
Yeah, because the way bardic inspiration works is that you can add that to an ability check, a saving throw, or an attack. Normally, you
Right.
have to try and do it like after you roll. No, actually, you can do it after
You can
roll
you
and
can do it after you make
Yeah,
the roll.
I realized I thought you had to call it at the same time you make the roll, but no, you can do it after the roll. So you have a 13.
But it's still supposed to be before you know whether you've hit their armor
Yeah,
class.
exactly.
Oh,
But I will allow it because it's been a few weeks, and I know sometimes there's a lot of rules, Gemma, to keep track of. But yeah, you could roll the d6 if you want to see if the 13 can get high enough to hit the creature.
yeah. Let's use that inspiration. Kind of
Alright,
want.
so roll the d6 of inspiration from your currently burned corpse of an ally, or near corpse of an ally.
How do I roll? Do I just roll a d6?
Backslash R space 1d6.
What is it? Backslash R.
Yeah.
Backslash R, then space, and then type 1d6. Okay. That definitely hits.
Whoop, whoop. Okay.
Which one was that you targeted for the first hit?
The one in I was gonna target both on this fool.
On the same person,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the same knoll.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on both of the irregular knolls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
just feel free to click the monk unarmed strike and we'll see how much damage you do.
Whoa,
That
nice.
has max damage, and Lapu, it's gonna do it for that creature.
All right.
Thank you, inspiration.
Yeah, you still have a bonus action if there's something with either your monk abilities or
Oh, your token
I
disappeared.
Yeah, I think
oh
Jesus, I
Did you
picked
do
the wrong
Lapu?
one. That was my bad. I picked the wrong one to delete. I will put
Oh.
your token right back.
no.
You suddenly
this
all
is
watch
why you
as
shouldn't
Lapu-
believe in the
It's
gods.
like, wait, what happened?
Seriously.
Delete you by
Lapu.
accident.
Okay. Lapu blinked out of existence and then came right back.
The gods were upset with me.
Gods are upset for killing my gnolls.
I think I will. I'm just gonna use another key point for a patient defense as my bonus action.
Bo,
Yes.
lucky lucky gal.
yeah, I'm
You
moving
rolled a
forward.
21 in perception.
Right.
You're the first one to notice this.
To
You
notice.
hear what sounds like the moving of chains,
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
but it's not like something dragging across the ground. It's almost like you're hearing it move, have a snap back, and then catch right back into itself. Not unlike a flail. And you see jumping down from the entrance right in front of Dee Dee and Lapu.
What?
What?
What? What?
What?
What the?
What the?
What the? What the?
Now, so you see a very familiar sight as the
Is it
10, 11 foot tall, flail wielding, elven faced gnoll creature just it lands in the front of the cave entrance.
Oh, it's a good thing I have mirror
Okay.
image.
So yeah, you see that.
Sure, I do.
I'm glad I'm impatient defensed up.
Right. Yeah, so I guess I see that before I sort of take my turn. I was over
Yes,
here.
I'm gonna say.
So so I'm gonna, but I mean I'm still moving forward, but like here, I guess it's just one square over. I'm gonna have to attack this giant gnoll creature.
Yep.
For the
Feel free.
team.
Yep. For the cause.
For the team. I'm glad I raged before. Because
Yep.
now I can get 3 attacks. Yeah,
Go.
with the special hand axe.
All right. Make the rolls.
So that's the first one.
That hits.
Heck yeah.
Oh, that one.
Boo.
Boo. Boo. But let's see this one.
Yeah.
Possibly?
Huh?
Just barely.
Ooh.
Oh. Phew. Okay. Okay, so that is 19 slashing and 4 lightning.
If you wouldn't mind, Bo, could you make me a dexterity saving throw real quick?
I absolutely can. I don't know if I'm good at this, but
Nice.
yeah, I guess I am good at it.
Yep. So you watch as your first lightning fueled axe lands in the creature. Blood begins to pour out, but immediately as it does so, you also suddenly see a gout of hellfire emerge from the wound.
What?
As a hellish rebuke is unleashed upon you in response to your attack.
What does that do?
So, because you saved, you are only going to take 8 fire damage from this. It would have been
Okay.
17 fire damage from the hellish rebuke just firing
Oh,
back
that's
out
just
at
like
you.
a scratch.
It's a flesh wound.
Sure. It's like a paper cut. All right. And now, like this creature gets disadvantage if it attacks anyone but me.
Yep.
Because of my ancestral guardians. Man, those things really come in handy.
They're definitely going to come in handy.
Those ancestors.
Oh,
Right.
those ancestors.
Those
They're-
ancestors always watching over me.
Watching over.
Yeah, this might get dicey. Which is why we roll dice. So, is that it? So you've made your attacks. Is that it for your turn, Bo?
Yep, that is it. I don't have any bonus attacks I want to do, so yeah.
Okay. The massive gnoll creature
Oh my god.
is going to hold its action. It speaks in a guttural, feral language that none of you understand. And it seems to
Abyssal?
be... Nope.
Okay.
It's speaking
Hmm.
gnoll.
Ah.
You don't know the gnoll.
For that, I have to wait. I have to wait 11 minutes. I will eventually
Middle of
know.
combat.
Yep. It's like, hold on. I gotta do the spell.
Give me 11 minutes.
Right.
Time out.
It's rude to speak in
The Pack
languages.
Lord's turn. You see emanating out from the creature,
Why did it?
hitting all 4 of you.
What?
What? Hey, I
As
have.
it-
Ah!
I'd like you to make me a con save, all of you.
What?
How
As
did it
you
even move there unless it has a lot of movement and can go around
Oh
us?
God, I don't.
Oh, it doesn't need to make use
It's
of any of movement
teleporting.
teleports.
Teleport.
So
In
how
a
does this work
thunderous
with
crash,
mirror image?
it's not an attack roll, it's a damage. So I don't think mirror image actually protects you from it.
Fuck.
You'd have to double check the wording. Like
No, it says it
it's
does say
damage based?
attack. It is.
Yeah,
it is
not an
attack based.
This is
Right.
it thunder steps away. It just waited for when the other creature was out of range.
Okay,
So
I'm
the
gonna
other
use my inspiration for this. Actually, you know what? It doesn't really matter.
Oh my
So
God,
I'm not gonna
Dee
I'm not gonna use my inspiration for that because I would have been able to add to it. But yeah, no.
Hey, you all lucked out. I rolled really terribly on the damage.
Whew.
So and that's high enough. So pretty much the only one who takes the full damage is, well, the 2 siblings take it. Didi, you're going to take 8 thunder damage. Vaya, you take 1 death saving throw fail.
Oh.
And, Lapu and Bo, you both take 4 thunder damage as this creature just lightning thunder steps away. And now the Pack Lord will continue moving. And it sees that it is actually smart enough to see that Lapu is currently in a patient defense, so it is going to take its attacks on Bo. You can probably take a few hits, right?
Yeah, a few.
But you just took damage, didn't you? So it has advantage on its attacks because it's in a blood frenzy.
Ooh.
However, even with the advantage, that is only going to be a 13 to hit you, which I'm pretty certain does not hit you.
No, I think my AC is 17.
Hot damn.
17. 17. That's going to be
Sorry,
an
just looking
advantage. That is a 24 to hit you, so that will hit you.
That does hit, yes.
Come on, D10s, roll something higher than a 4.
No, let's not.
Nope, that's exactly a 4. So that's 7 points of slashing damage from the glaive, so that is 3 for you.
Boop, boop.
But the Pack Lord is just staying between the 2 of you. Vaya. It's your turn. I'd like you to roll me a death saving throw.
I succeed.
You succeed. So that is your turn.
Nice. Whew.
Paul, you see this creature, it's taken some hits from Bo, but it's looking pretty damn healthy. What do you do?
Kill it. Kill. Oh.
I'm actually gonna go here and use my last spell slot to cast Cure Sounds on everyone.
Ooh, I kind of needed it. Thank
So it is 2d6 plus 5. Everybody gets that many hit points. So I will roll that.
Oh, nice.
As I cure you with, oh gosh, sounds, just oral pulse of energy emanates out from me. Ah, fuck.
Well, it's something.
So
It's
Vaya,
something.
Bo, and Lapu, you all get 8 points of healing.
I heal to full.
I've got a good chunk. Thank you. I breathe a sigh of relief. Whew.
And then I'm going to go stand here.
Take my dice, take my spellbook, and I'm gonna go home.
I'm just gonna study language so I can understand them.
No language. See what happens.
Let's.
But that's my turn.
Okay. Lapu, it's your turn. And Bo, you're going to be on deck, so be sure you have a sense of what you want to do.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll I'll attack again with the Mr. Frenzy or Miss or Mix, whatever.
Make the attacks.
Mix. Bless. Oh no, you're really doing the sniffles.
Nicely done.
They're higher armor
Yeah.
class. Yeah, that's with the chain shirt. That's gonna hit. Both of those are gonna hit.
Yay.
That's enough to kill the pack lord. You've taken out all of the underlings almost by yourself with the.
I just take them all out. 2 punches and a side roundhouse kick. Bam.
This thing's jaw is just hanging off and just collapses. It's like cartoon style, like.
You're welcome.
I yell out to the entrance, thank you, Dee Dee. All right, and I will use a bonus action again for patient defense because I am scared.
All right, Bo, you're up.
I mean, does this thing, like, it moved away from us? Does it look...
It looks even more.
I mean, I don't want to
pissed
say
off than
does
the
it look...
previous three.
Yeah, okay.
I'll put it to you that way. It doesn't look friendly. Like this isn't something that it barely, again, like seeing this in its feral frenzy, you're seeing like the elven features of the creature are becoming more apparent as its frenzy takes a hold of it.
Okay, I guess we're attacking. Yeah, I'm gonna attack recklessly. Why not?
Okay.
And so does that mean, it's just the first attack though that I get advantage on?
No, reckless attack.
No, it's all of them?
All of your attacks.
You mean?
It's just
Okay.
The bonus is all of your attacks will be at advantage. The con is that you will take every
Then
other
they have,
attack at advantage.
yeah, well, I mean, I want him to hit me and not anybody else.
Try and hit me and hit me.
So here we go. First attack.
First attack. The 25.
Oh, both of those were good either way.
Yeah, even with its increased armor class.
Look at that. That's a crit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 12, 20 and 14. That's 34. Yeah, with the advantage, sometimes reckless works. This thing is looking severely hurt in comparison to where it was at a few minutes ago.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Is that what you're doing with your turn?
That is what I am doing.
Here we go.
Okay.
Stepping in front of the giant monster and hitting it with her axes.
Okay. It is now. You see, it in its hand. It carries this long chained weapon of flails with 3 spike balls on the end of it. That it's about as long. It's longer than this thing's arm, and it's a wicked weapon.
Right.
And you see it slowly, like its face contorts into one of absolute rage, and it just like it slowly begins scratching itself, and it goes into a frenzy where, in addition to its 3 flail attacks, it's going to take a bite attack on you.
Of course. Sure.
All at advantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's only polite to take you out to dinner first.
I mean,
the
very
first
rude.
one is a 23.
Yeah.
So that is 8 points of damage reduced to 4, and I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Wisdom is not my best feature. No, that's really not my best feature.
And you're a druid.
Well, I mean, I have the this is a barbarian, basically. Look.
So, Bo.
I'm
going to change this one up just a little bit.
Hmm?
You turn around Actually, no. I'm gonna roll for this one to see what happens. Okay. Okay, that was one of the best rolls I ever had. I got three fours in a row on a D4, and I'm like, that's not what I need to make a decision. Okay, Bo, on your next turn, you feel compelled by some sort of hellish, infernal voice speaking in your head that tells you, kill the downed one. On your next turn, you are going to use your action to make an attack on Baya.
Okay.
Its second flail attack does not manage to hit you. Its third flail attack, however, that's a 22 to hit you.
Yeah, that hits.
That is going to be 10 points of bludgeoning damage, reduced to 5, and I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw. Okay.
17.
You feel all throughout your body this terrible feeling as though the limbs and the whole of you is like your muscles are beginning to slowly shut down and become paralyzed, but you just stiffen your resolve and you manage to remain unparalyzed.
Okay.
Based off of its third hit. It is, however, going to take its bite on you at advantage. That is a natural 20.
Lovely.
That is 14 points of piercing damage, reduced to 7.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Okay.
And
it's cool.
It begins moving forward and making its way closer to Lapu so that you can't leave its space. It's just making sure it's going to lock you down. But Baya, it's your turn. You're on the floor. Barely awake, but you're on the floor.
I use half my movement to get up. I now have 15 feet of movement. I move 1, 2, 3. That's 15. I'm going to dash so I can be in the center of this non-magic area. And that's my action. Let's bonus action. I'm just gonna choke out my voice wheezing from the smoke that I inhaled due to my own fireballs. I can do this. Lapu, you have another bardic inspiration now.
You do not.
Oh.
That's
the magic of your words and the magical
inspiration,
right. Even that, you find that the word it's almost like all like for you, Paya, you're hearing the words and knowing the magic that should be coming. Lapu, you just kind of hear the smoke choked voice of Paya, just like,
what got this? I'm just encouraging you with no magic.
What was that? Oh, okay.
My disguise strips off then. I'm just Paya now.
Yeah.
If it cancels magic.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, your disguise is also off. You need help. You're very badly burned. You need help right now.
I will brace my quarterstaff in front of myself as a thing, as an aesthetic.
It's an aesthetic. Dee, it's call.
I'm gonna look at that knoll and I'm gonna be like, shame, bad puppy.
Okay. It actually does have a high wisdom save. Because servant of infernal beings. That's a 22.
Yeah, nothing happens.
You're just like, shame, and it just sort of looks in your direction, and it's just like, shame.
And I would like to, I don't know if this is, I'm looking at my special staff. Where is it? I have way too many things. I forgot I wrote 1 magic missiles. I think that's a scroll. Did I learn it? Oh. It's been a while since I've looked at.
Yeah, Lapu, because I'm watching the time right now. We're getting relatively close to the end. Lapu, if you have a sense of what you want to do in your turn, feel free to call it out.
Oh, there's my quarterstaff.
I'm just gonna straight up attack.
Okay, see what you can do against this thing. It seems hellbent on taking down one of you. it is looking considerably hurt compared to
Okay.
that last round of getting hurt by Bo is pretty bad.
Damn.
That will hit.
Cool.
That crit.
Nice.
You have gotten so many crits in this, or gotten max damage on this. I swear to God.
12.
All right, that's 12 down. It's still pretty hurt, but it's fighting.
I will use. How many key points do I have? Why not? I'll use a stunning strike.
Stunning strike. Okay.
Let's
see.
Oh God. Okay. Stupid.
Nice. That is 19. I'm pretty certain that beats your DC.
Oh, did it not? Oh.
Okay, so your second strike does go through, but the stunning strike does not land.
Okay.
What are you doing with your bonus action?
I'm gonna go with patient defense.
Apu's just like, I want to die. Must prepare. Okay, Dee Dee, did you have anything else to add on your turn?
No, because I get the sense that what my staff can do, my special once a day ability, is probably an action because it says may roll a history versus DC target deception on a successful check, then choose energy type I can manipulate from spell secrets and apply it on the target.
Yeah, that would just be whatever spell you cast on it.
Oh, okay.
It would just be, basically think of it like the Inquisitive Rogue's insightful fighting kind of ability.
Okay.
Then you could add that additional damage. You only get that once a day to apply to one enemy, but it's a very helpful, and it leans into what the wizard's approach to essentially what insightful fighting would be and what I think is suitable for a lore master.
Yeah, that might be something I'm doing next turn.
Yeah. Bo.
Okay.
You see Baya over there.
Question: how aware does Bo see Baya as an enemy? Like, oh, this is somebody, or is it like she can hear the voice? She knows it's a compulsion.
You know it's a compulsion, and you find your body cannot physically resist doing it.
Okay, that's fine.
You're aware of your actions. Like you can, if you wanted to say like I'm sorry, like that's the case, but you're using up your action to attack Baya.
Does it have to be an attack with my weapon?
No, it does not.
Okay. So as she is aware this is a compulsion and she doesn't have to attack with her weapons, I'm gonna drop my rage as my bonus action. I'm gonna move toward Baya, and then I am going to...
Is the compulsion magical?
Ooh.
I'll say it's a magical effect. It's a weird case. Basically the effect of the actual ability just reads like the target will attack a random creature it can reach that's either within reach or that it can reach after moving.
Okay, does the floral arrangement affect this at all?
I'll say, because you pointed it out, it seems like it drops right as you get over to him by Bo. But you gave up the rage in order to do that.
Yes, and that's fine because that was sort of my plan. Then because she's aware of this and she knows that she's attacking a friend, she tries to cast poison spray as an attack instead of attacking with her physical weapon.
Bo, the compulsion drops when you enter the circle because it's anti-magic.
But I still am already starting, right? Like it's kind of one motion.
I think this is, it's kind of like all one motion as far as Bo would know to do it.
Okay.
Right.
No matter what, the compulsion ends, and when you try and cast the spell, nothing happens.
Right. That was
used up. The rage drops, but I get this. I get what you were trying to do. You were trying to purposely avoid hurting Baya.
Right. Because I knew that the magic wouldn't work within the circle.
Yep. Okay. So that is your turn.
That is my turn.
the creature, the Flind, moves in position between what it now sees as a cowering spellcaster and a defensive monk, and it's going to split its attacks against all three of you, against the two of you.
Hey, attack! It works. My mirror image would work.
Yep. Are you hurt at all, Dee Dee?
No, I healed up.
Okay, so the first one is a 14 to hit you.
Okay, so then I roll a d20.
Roll d20, and then we'll see if it hits
and if
one
I
of your mirror
get
images.
if I get 6 or higher, it hits an image.
Okay.
So it hits an
Yep,
image.
it hits an image. The second one is a 22 to hit you.
What was the first one?
The first one was a 14 because it's not attacking at advantage. It's just trying to hit you. So the first attack, it does,
okay, so it does
14.
poof. Yeah, it poofs an image.
It poofs one image. The second attack is a 22.
Okay, so then that is I'm just looking at what the spell says for, because it increases, like I have to roll higher to, with each successive image.
Yeah,
so
the next
then
one
it's
is an
8. Okay.
Yeah, so see if that one lands or it doesn't.
Oh.
It lands.
Yeah.
So, Dee Dee, you are going to take 8 points of bludgeoning damage and 11 points of psychic damage, and you begin experiencing a similar hellfire landscape of peaches and torn faces that Lapu witnessed or that felt earlier from the Shadow Blade.
Okay.
Lapu, I'm really sorry. Y'all have been rolling crits. I critted on the third flail hit. That's an appropriate reaction. So that's 2d10.
Was it a double crit because they're using patient defense?
They have advantage because Lapu is at
I see.
hurt. So it was just a straight roll, but the straight roll was a 20.
Understood.
Oh.
So that's 14 points of bludgeoning damage, and Lapu, I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
So my patient defense was just.
It's less that it didn't do that. It would have had advantage, but it had advantage on you because you're hurt. Your patient defense would have taken it. Would normally put a creature at disadvantage. When both of those are in effect, it's just a straight roll. So I rolled once, and the once was a crit.
Oh.
So you took 14 points of bludgeoning, and I need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Okay. Constitution saving throw.
Yes. Okay. Lapu, you find your muscles seize up, and you're paralyzed.
Oh no, you got stunning strike.
Oh no.
I don't know if it has a fourth attack. It has a bite. This is a weird case where with paralyzed, you can't move, so I don't know if patient defense really applies when you can't move to dodge things. So I'm sorry. I'm going to have to roll this one as you take the hit. That's a 24 to hit you. And you're paralyzed, so that is a natural crit with being paralyzed. 13, 14. That's 17 points of piercing damage from the crit on its bite.
I have the condition up if you want me to quickly go over what it does.
Yeah. But that's it for its turn. It doesn't manage to do any damage to Dee Dee, but all the damage it doesn't seem to get through to Dee Dee, it lands on Lapu. Lapu, are you still up?
Barely.
Oh my god, how much do you have?
Well, someone has... Oh, shit. Someone had magical sausages and went into an anti-magic field.
Also, he might have burned those sausages with his own
They're
fireball.
magical! They're magical sausages!
That's true.
Yeah.
Right now, Paya, it's your turn. The man of the hour. The immolating man of the hour.
Sure. I'll take a look to see if the sausages are magical.
They are not.
I
They just
will
look
walk.
like tasty hot links.
I will walk here and take a look to see if the sausage are magical.
They appear to have returned to their full magical freshness and deliciousness.
Great. I will cast Fairy Fire and say, let's see how you like being hit easily. I cast it in a 20 foot by 20 foot cube, which I center as here, so that it only hits the flint. And I like the flint to give me a dexterity saving throw against
It failed. It got a 1.
Ooh.
I would like him to light up in Christmas lights, please.
It's lit up in entirely Christmas light pattern.
You can hit it so easily now, I say in my smoke-choked voice. I end my turn by going, and I hope this encouragement works better. A bonus action to Lapu. Lapu, please get inspired by me.
The most pleading bardic inspiration. Well, it's like, come on, be inspired. Come on. Just squeaky voice teen bardic inspiration. Didi, Lapu, you're up. Lapu, you're paralyzed until the end of your next turn. You can't move or do anything. Didi, you're up.
I'm gonna look at this creature towering over me, and I'm gonna be like, "Shame on you, bad puppy!" As I do toll the dead, but it's like, I just thwack it with my quarterstaff for effect, not for actual damage.
It fails.
Seriously, it takes 7.
I mean, guys, it takes 7 damage. It's so awesome.
Oh, I have the sniffles because now I'm talking through my nose.
Yeah. Bo. Because Lapu there. I'm
just going to spend my movement just going around, not, kind of just like. I figured this is kind of a death spot, so I'm gonna move out. Yeah.
Bo, while Lapu is struggling to break the paralysis, while Didi is like running around this creature, you, being the most perceptive of the group, notice someone else emerging from the tunnel.
What? Okay.
You see an older, wrinkled drow paladin emerging from the tunnel.
Oh no!
And you lit up a flint with fairy fire. She's gonna take her attacks on the flint, and she's.
Oh, good. She's friendly.
No, this is Beatrice.
It's Beatrice.
Oh, I didn't know.
Not a drow you don't know. It's the drow that just really helped.
I was like, there's another person.
Look, it's really hard to remember NPCs we only met 20 seconds ago, Angela.
Bo, feel free to take your attacks because Beatrice just landed both of hers.
Okay.
And she's got 2nd level spell slots.
Nice.
Okay. Bo's moving forward, raging again, and hitting with her axes.
I think Angela's still calculating the damage from the paladin.
Sure. I mean, I don't know if this is he's gonna already be dead. Well, that didn't hit.
9.
That one did. Yeah, that one hit.
Wait, you have advantage on all attacks, Bo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we'll say that's the first one. That's the first one. Okay. I forgot about that actually.
It's Bo, roll all your attacks.
The second one doesn't though.
The second one doesn't hit, but
no, and I had to rage with my bonus action, so I don't get a third.
But attack. Bo. How do you and Beatrice want to finish her off?
Yes.
Yeah. I think if it's turned toward Beatrice and Bo is coming up from the back, she's going to flip her blade around and then go bury in the near the coccyx and then just rip it up the spine.
Nice.
Yeah, you just Oh my god. So we're like at our time, so I'm gonna help speed through this a little bit, and we'll continue up after this. But just to give you a sense of how much this worked out in your favor, because you held out. Because I had a goal that like if you were able to last about 3 to 4 rounds, Beatrice was gonna come and help you with whatever was happening outside. She did 33 points of damage between her 2 hits.
Oh, nice.
And like 27 of that, no, actually, no, I miscounted. It's like 27 points of just divine smite that she put into this thing, and then another 8 and another 15 points from her 2 longsword attacks. So between that and Bo's Oathbreaker strikes, the creature is destroyed. Like it's torn asunder, and like Bo, probably because you are the most involved with it, you do hear Beatrice utter under her breath, "I'm sorry to have to do this to you." Like she's very much like repentant. It's like
Okay.
she doesn't seem to enjoy having to be violent, is the impression you get.
Right.
But creature is torn asunder. A calm sets out for all of you. Lapu, you have your body movement back. You are not paralyzed anymore.
I just dropped straight to the ground.
I
Just hurt.
walk up to Bhaiya. I was like, "Can I get a couple of links, brother?"
I give them all the links, and I'm like, I need a sec anyway. I need a breathing.
I give one to Bhaiya, and then I give the rest to those to Lapu. So you have 5 sausages that heal you for, I believe, a D6
Or
plus 5.
A D6 plus 5. But,
Wait, D6 or D4?
D6. Oh wait.
EM says wait, guys.
Before you do that, Dee, because
yeah,
I think
D4.
this is both funny and also fits the moment as a good like oh shit thing to end on. As you are handing over the sausages to Baya, if any of you have ever seen like alien invasion films where it's like those one shots where like someone's like eating a hot dog and then it just drops out of their mouth or something when they see like the ship coming over the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of imagine you have a similar moment right now as you look out towards the plains, towards the camps, and you just hear and you see floating above some of the camps a brain with writhing barbed tentacles and a bird-like beak. And you see arrows being fired, but you also see magic being cast as the camp is under attack.
Are we talking something that's like campsite sized or tent sized or
we're talking like a full-on camp of like at least a few dozen people. That's essentially the rough size of the camp setting where the rangers.
Oh, I meant the creature. The creature.
No, the creature is roughly the size floating of what the Lind was.
Okay, I thought the creature was like campsite size. I was like, gee.
No. This is a floating aberration of some kind, and you see at the bottom of its tendrils would look like the tattered remains of robes. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh boy.
Okay.
So, y'all beat the boss.
Yes.
It was rough, but you did it.
Oh boy.
But we have some things coming ahead, everybody. So, thank you to everyone, any viewers and such, and my players for being patient with this a little bit over session this time, but it's been a couple of weeks and it's going to be intense going on ahead. But as we're finishing out, I want to say thanks to the several groups who rated us and who subbed and hosted and such. We love you. You help us keep going through all of this. Want to thank Want to remind anyone who's still watching to check out the Discord, support on Patreon, and check out merch. I'm unaware of what we don't have anything next on WTTP for tonight because we are the last one.
We'll be rating though because I think Devil's Luck Gaming has Star Wars Jedi running.
Yes,
so
we will be rating Devil's Luck Gaming, as my wonderful producer has just let us know. And before we do that, we're going to do a quick send-off. As always, our magnificent players, please let us know where the interwebs people can find you. I'm going to start with... I'm going to try and go in reverse this time and start with our fantastic, very badly bruised Furbolg Monk, Lapu.
Hello, I am Gemma. I played Lapu, the Knoll killer kind of Furbolg monk. Lapu, you can find me on Twitter and Discord at Kupo Night. On Twitter, the O is a 0. And you can find me streaming Saturday nights at Welcome to the Party here at the Welcome to the Party channel with Adventures in Agni with my fellow awesome kick-ass players. Tomorrow on Sundays, Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern, I am on the Nerds with Dice channel, and we're doing a Capers Noir mini series, and that's with Nerds with Dice, and that is 15 Days in Pasadena. Like I said, Capers Noir. It's super powered caper stuff. Pretty cool. And then Mondays back here at Welcome to the Party, I will be a little furry cute animal in Mictim Fluffy Tail. I forgot what the
Fluffy Adventures.
Fluffy Adventures,
it's
yes.
Adorable. That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. And it's with Angela being a player and having fun. Not that DMing is not fun, but I'm sure being a player, yeah, it's a different kind of fun. So yes, and that will be on Monday evenings on the Welcome to the Party channel at
9:30.
9:30 Eastern.
Yeah.
Yes, and that is where you can find me.
All right, our fantastic tank and critting machine Bo.
Hello, I am Lily. I'm Elise on Life on Twitter and Lescribe on Twitch and Discord. And I am here in Agni on Saturdays. I also take part in other one-shot stuff that Welcome Party RPG does. Both are on hiatus right now, but there's side quests which are on Mondays, and there's 3V Visible, Vibrant, Victorious, which is an all PoC show that is on Sundays. So you can check me out when they are back from hiatus. I think both of them will be back pretty soon. Side Quests, I think, is back in December. And I also am part of an all female crew playing a Star Wars actual play called Misfits of Space, which is a podcast.
Fantastic. I may, in that one of those side quest one-shots happening in December, actually get to play alongside Lily. For
another player, yes.
We get to actually play with each other as opposed to being the DM.
I know.
We've done this since like Paranoid.
It's weird.
Our fantastic, unfortunately not camera visible, but always wonderful self-immolating Bardlock Paya.
Hello, I am Ant. I play Paya. As Angela said, I'm self-immolating. I run the blog dungeonandintelligence.com. You can find me also on Discord as Jojiro7209. And yeah, not in any other games currently. Just glad to be here.
And always a pleasure to have you here. And last but not least, our wonderful producer.
Hi, I am Miriam. You can find me on Twitter at media_junkie. I am incredibly sick, so I'm just going to be very brief. So there's that, and hopefully in Jan 2020, Musafirs will be back, and if you can hear snoring, that isn't me. And also, hopefully, I will be dusting off my Twitch channel, and I have a name now, Utopia. And just, I guess, check my Twitter out for more details.
Utopia.
Gemma. And I'm Angela, otherwise known as Phoenix24Fem on Twitter. I am the DM, obviously, here on Saturdays. Was involved with the Sleeping Angels campaign on Fridays. Still waiting to see whether I still can be because of work schedule, working all that out. And I'm also, as Jem already mentioned, on Mictum for Mondays. That I believe this Monday might be our last episode, but we're gonna find out. There's other things happening. Things are being plotted. Also, a poet and writer with a Patreon. You can find me at Philosophem. And also, if you are in the Seattle area tomorrow and you would like to either play a game of For the Queen or a ridiculous Honey Heist one shot that I have planned out based on Seattle locations, I will be at Geek Girl Con tomorrow at in Seattle from about 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. So if you want to come and say hello to me, I will be there. And I believe that is everything.
Yeah, and our raid has changed, as I believe Devil's Luck Gaming has gone offline. So we will instead be raiding Maddie Morgs.
Fantastic. So, love you, Maddie. Love you, wonderful players and viewers who've stuck with us throughout this. It's a little bit of a longer episode, but things are going, things are picking up, and it's time to see what happens with the group and what will be lost, what will be consumed by fire, and what crisis may be averted. Love you, everybody. Take care.